on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk presented by The Sportscast.
The Jersey Boys Sports Talk with Victor Arocho and Byron Jones. And here's your host, Victor Arocho.
All righty. Let's get it on. Live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Jersey Boys Sportscast, brought to you by The Sportscast, hosted by Byron Jones and Victor Arocho. Today is, what's today's date, Byron? Today is November 7th, right, Byron?
6.
Today's November 6th, sorry. A little slow today. November 6th. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast on all your channels. YouTube, Spotify, X. We're also streaming on your favorite podcast streaming channel. Look up Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please leave us a rating and review. It'll help us out tremendously. Mr. Byron Jones, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, considering all the things that have happened the last week or so. But yeah, all good in the hood.
How's the weather?
It's supposed to be in the 30s real soon, like in the next couple of days.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
I was trying to look something up that just came up. Okay. All right. Well, let's welcome to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk, a fellow Giant fan and enthusiast, and probably has the best hats in the industry. Welcome to the show again, Mr. Big Blue Anthony.
What's going on, fellas? How are you today?
What's happening? All right. Well, first of all, we started off with a little joke, but on a serious note, hold on, I want to bring something up. As you guys obviously know, we are, as Giant fans, NFC East, just period. We're not big Cowboy fans, but I will tell you, my heart is broken right now. I just saw the news on the TV, and Cowboys defensive end Martian Nealon dies at 24 from an apparent suicide. He even scored a touchdown this weekend, right? He recovered a block punt, I believe it was. And I don't care what team whether you like him or you don't want to see any young man, 24 years old, someone taking their life. I'm brokenhearted, man. I had to stop the news, read it, and make sure. So prayers out to his family, prayers out to him. May God forgive him. And all the people, he's a big Giant. They said he was super nice and loved, but he just had some, mental illness is a problem in our country. And, a lot of people don't realize it, number one. And number two, it's probably impactful more for athletes, and then probably even more impactful for football players because, they don't have the concussion protocol when I played. And I know I've had a few concussions, but you had concussions to just mental illness, just a little gene in your brain. So I'm saddened. No matter who you root for, you don't want to see any of these young men die, one by suicide or by car accident or whatever. But apparently, he had some problems. So anybody got anything to say?
It's a shame, man. 24 years old. It's ridiculous. I just 2 weeks ago buried a friend of mine who was only 51 years old. I mean, it wasn't a suicide thing, but these kids are growing way too young now. It's ridiculous. It's a shame. And like you said, mental health is an issue. I deal with it myself. I was diagnosed 2 years ago with bipolar 2 disorder. And I get seasonal depression and everything, but then I got guys like you to keep me happy all the time.
You have to have good people around you, man. Make absolutely a big difference. Byron?
Man, the crazy thing about it, you figure they had the kid, LSU kid, what's his name? Kyron Lacey did the same thing. He was 22 years old. And, this guy is 24.
What do you
The
mean? He
same thing.
committed suicide?
Yeah, he was involved in an accident. Come to find out, he wasn't, a part of the accident, and went, and killed himself. And the sad thing, and this kid, same thing with him. What's his name, Marshawn Nealon. It's a
Yeah,
shame that,
Marshall
yeah,
Lee.
it's a shame that these guys don't get help, for whatever issues that they have going on. And it's like, you you want to be the strong guy, whatever, and you don't want to go ask for help. If you need it, ask for help. But being in that kind of environment, people are going to think that you're weak, and that you're not one of the guys or whatever. But if you need help, man, go get it for whatever reason. If your friend, if they're not really your friends, if they sit there and criticize you for whatever issues that you may have going on, and that's part of the problem. Just people just won't ask for help. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's but you know how that is too, Byron. That let's say they don't ask for help, but if someone doesn't want to get help, you can't help them, right? So it's a fine line. It's even with alcoholism, drugs, no matter what, the person has to recognize it, right, and then take action upon it. They talk to people, talk to someone, but at the end of the day, just I just wanted to say prayers. And then we also lost a friend of ours from Perth Amboy, William Lely Grant. I just seen him at the reunion that I went up to, Byron. Last year, the 30th. It was the first time I went for all class reunion, and he was maybe a couple years younger than me. And I don't know how he passed. He probably passed from heart attack or so. I don't know how he passed. It wasn't suicide, but prayers out to him and his family. Super sweet young man, always kind, always gentle. So William, Lely Grant, this show is for you and for everybody out there in Perth Amboy who's lost somebody. That's Byron on ours hometown, and it just it's too young, dying younger than 60. Dying younger than 80, in my opinion, is young. Byron?
Yeah, no, I have two more that where I worked that passed away. Our Under Sheriff Clifford Daniels, he passed, a couple of days ago. They're gonna have a funeral for him. What next week, November 15th. He was my boss for like 20 years that I worked in the sheriff's department, and he was a great mentor. I got away with a lot of stuff, with him, and he was a great boss to work for. And then Captain Howe, another one that I just found out with him today. Same. He was 64 years old, and the same thing with him. I was on the SWAT team or the ERT team my whole career for 25 years. And he put me on the team when I first I was in the jail. I was in there like 6 months, where they put me on there. And he was a great friend. My whole career. He retired a little bit before I did, but my prayers go out his family, the Howe family, and the Daniels family. And this whole week has just been just bad. It's been a bad week.
And then I got to add one more. Somebody dear to my heart. One of my this is bad, Ryan. You know how this comes and runs. Remember, there was a time every week for the show. I want to shout out to. It's actually my uncle, my last uncle. He's lived a great life. He was 99, Byron, and he had it all. He was good upstairs. He was a veteran, served in the war, several wars. He was one of my closest uncles, and it's my cousin Mary, her dad. Her mom passed away several years ago, but my uncle Pablo was the coolest dude, big guy, coolest dude, played minor league baseball. Wish I would have continued playing baseball. I used to come and watch me play little league when I was little, and he was just, him and I always just had a good time. So Uncle Pablo, this is for you. I'm actually flying up for the funeral next week, I think, Byron. I'm scared of all these flight cancellations and stuff, but I'm flying up into New York and then staying at my sister's, and we're going to be going to the Bronx, and then I fly back on Monday. But, look, we knew his time was coming, but I don't care what you say. It's never easy to lose a parent. You know what I mean? And my cousin came when my dad passed, and I still miss my dad so much. But he lived till he's 99. And look, Byron, he lived. One thing I give him credit, it's one thing that, like, I don't want to get old to be having to, like, have dementia, have, stuff like that. My dad and my mom were good, but he was good till the end, and then he just, took, when you're 99, taking a turn for the worse takes a turn, right? It's nothing you can do. But prayers out to my family, and prayers out to my cousin, and prayers out to everybody. So it's been kind of a rough week, right? We were just talking about how daylight savings is making me exhausted. All right, let's get into some sports. Maybe to change the mood a little bit here. And prayers out for everybody. God bless, and prayers for anybody else who's lost someone. But that was a big one right there. All right, let's get into the Giant stuff, baby. 49ers 34, Giants 24. I mean, it wasn't a blowout. It was, but Dart's doing his piece. McCaffrey had 106 yards, I think 2 touchdowns. So McCaffrey did well. I even had 49er friends of mine that were at the game were telling me, hey, you guys played pretty good against their team. And Mac Jones is playing pretty good football. So, Santiago brought up for me, Byron, we'll start with you first. He goes, hey, do you think that when Purdy gets back that they're going to start him? What's your answer to that? I got mine. And then I'll go to Big Ant, Big Blue, and then I'll go to you.
Come on, man. They paid him $50-some million a year, man. He's playing, man. As soon as he's well to play, he's back out there. Period.
Big Blue, what's your thoughts? Big Blue, you there? You froze? What's up?
Yeah, it keeps lagging. I don't know if it's me or what. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Purdy? On Purdy starting or not, since Mac Jones is doing pretty good?
That's a tough one because I think they're both in the same boat. I mean, they're both cut kind of from the same cloth, and they both can be good. Like, I thought Mac Jones coming out of college, I thought he was good. I don't think he really got a fair share with the Patriots, but I don't think he fit what they were trying to do, which is why I didn't have a problem letting him go. But it is Purdy's team to lose. The injury did put him out. But I would try not to make too many mistakes because Mac Jones is right there on his tail.
Well, I'm going to give you my response now. I'm with Byron. You ain't paying somebody $50-something million, and I'm putting him on the field. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, that was Byron mimicked exactly my response to Santiago. Number one. Number two, Mac Jones is only playing a string of games, right? Purdy's been there several seasons. He played for less than $1 million and took them to championships. You know what I mean? They were leading. These guys are like buried with injuries and stuff like that. I mean, you had Trey Lance, and they gave away tons of draft pick. I mean, I think Purdy saved John Lynch's job because they gave away the farm for Trey Lance. Trey Lance is with the Chargers. I didn't even know where he was at. He went to Dallas. Now he's with the Chargers. So anyhow, I thought that was interesting. Again, there was a good comment. So I'm bringing this up in a little bit. Jackson Dart was 24 of 33, 191 yards with a TD pass to Theo Johnson. And I guess 2 TD passes with TD passes to Theo Johnson and Olszewski.
Gunnar Olszewski. It's Gunnar Olszewski.
Olszewski. Okay. Olszewski. So, Dart's still playing. You know what I mean? It's our defense has got to do something. And we got to get rid of our coach. Byron?
What do you want me to bring up? How bad they played on defense, giving up 5 yards a carry. Dexter Lawrence is still a no-show. Nacho played pretty well. Burns, he's doing his thing, but that's secondary, man. I understand and I get it that they're hurt and they're a little banged up, but for the love of God, please don't put Deontay Banks back on the field. He got trucked by Brian Johnson on the way to a touchdown. It was like he wasn't even away. Please, for whatever they do, don't they can do whatever. Don't put him out there because he's a first round pick and he is awful.
Let me tell you though, Byron, our run defense don't look good too either. I mean, they're not stopping, right? I mean, so if you're running the ball, and as defensive back, I understand they need help, but I mean, if a team can run on you, it makes you playing defense as defensive back more susceptible because now you don't know what to do. You know what I mean? If you stop the run, at least you know what's coming, right? You're a little bit more jacked up. You're prepared, but you're running down the field with these receivers, and they're still able to run the ball, and you got to pivot, stop, and come make a tackle. I mean, it's an issue. They're just slicing through our defensive line. Big Blue.
I just think it's crazy, and I don't want to jump off of what we're trying to talk about here quick, though, but it's just crazy how the turn of events, like for years now, we've been complaining about the offensive line. Now the offensive line is doing much better, and now it's the defensive line that can't do nothing. I've been calling them the Swiss cheese defense for weeks now because they can't stop the run. There's just holes everywhere.
Can't stop the run. That's my point. You can't stop the run, which you got to stop that first. Because if a team could run on you, let me ask this question. Let's see. Let's bring this up. If a team, let's get rid of this. If a team can successfully run the ball on you, right? And let's say they can pass on you, which one they're going to prefer to do?
You're going to pound the rock.
Byron?
Pound the ball. Pound the ball.
You're eating the clock and you're running, right?
Nope.
Okay, so if that's true, and I'm not saying, Byron, that we don't need an upgrade in the secondary. All I'm saying to you is that when you play defensive back and a team's running on you, you're playing two positions all the time, right? You got to cover speedy guys, and then you got to, once they get through past the linebackers, you got to make the tackle. And then some of these guys are like, we're not even, these guys, Byron, we were taught to hit in the chest and wrap up, right? I don't see anybody in the NFL ever wrapping up. All they do is hit. Those guys are hitting, and the guy keeps running.
They're doing the shoulder tackles. It's ridiculous.
It. That's all they're doing. Nobody wraps up. So I'm not giving a pass to the secondary. I'm just saying to you that you got to lock down somewhere. You know what I mean? I'll look up the stats in a few minutes and let you guys talk about this. But we got to lock them down somewhere, right? And if you don't lock down the run, yes.
Yeah, but it's all bad. I don't know if it got worse when Michael McFadden got hurt. He was balling, or coming around. How is it that you got all that money across the front and they can't stop anybody?
No,
they're getting 5, 6, 7 yards a pop. Run everybody. Yep, and this is from the beginning. And they went into the season with allegedly, and I saw it, the best interior defensive line in all of football. That's what everybody was saying about them. And for some reason, I don't know what it is, that it is just bad.
I know what it is.
That's the only way you can put it. Just bad. You can't even blame the DC.
No, absolutely. And I'm hearing too much about the coaches getting blamed, the coordinators getting blamed. The players have to go out and make these plays. So, I mean, Shane Bowen could be calling better games than we're seeing. It's just the players aren't producing. But
you mean Daboll?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as like the defense, Shane Bowen with his schemes and stuff like that. Yeah.
When I hear the word Shane, I immediately want to fire him, right? So you know,
you're good.
That guy's like, I got 2 targets with dartboards.
Yeah.
Brian Daboll and Joe Shane.
Yeah. But like I said, like people are, making it more about the coaches, and it's easier to do that. But what a lot of people aren't seeing is teams are now doing the main thing to our main run stopper, and they're double teaming him. He's getting double teamed almost every game of almost every play. Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, but if he's getting double teamed, somebody else better step up.
That's why I'm saying it's a player problem. It's not necessarily a coach problem. It's a player problem. Somebody's not doing something.
We'll get into that one next. I agree that it's the players got to perform, especially the defensive line, right? There's no reason. I mean, Burns is rocking it. So, something's happening. And it may be because Lawrence is getting doubled. Dual Carter's getting there, but nothing. They're not stopping the run. It's like we're built to try to stop the pass, and that's not Giants football, right? The other thing is when you can pound the rock, it eats up clock, right? So you have more time of possession, you have more plays. Look at this. They had the ball for half a quarter more, for 7 minutes more, and they ran 9 more plays, right? We rushed for 159. They passed for 221. Back to Brian's point, but if they're running there, we're giving up. They were getting 5.8 yards per play, and we were doing 5.3. So we're in there, but it's just we allowed 2 sacks. We got 2 sacks, right? But we punted 5 times to there too, right? We were pretty decent on penalties at least, right? And they gave up a fumble, but no interceptions. It's just, hey, look, I will tell you this: losing or not, I'm still excited. Making that Dart's doing okay. You know what I mean? I'm happy about Dart. I mean, we may be terrible, but for some reason, I still want to see what's going on. And it's not like me the last several years turning it off. Jackson Dart. You could say whatever you want, but he is playing, and I don't think it has anything with the coach. That has to do with the player. That's number one. And then you make a comment about, hey, we've been talking about the offensive line for years. You're right, but is it really the offensive line, or is it just Dart is able to escape things more than they have? Are they running an offense designed so he's getting rid of the ball quicker, right? Because, the second a different quarterback's in there, that offensive line is terrible. Once Russell Wilson goes in, they look terrible.
Yeah.
And Jackson Dart makes stuff happen. He's like a Patrick Mahomes. He turns 360 and he's looking downfield.
But that's to me, that's just a case of one guy helping the next. So the defense knows that Dart can take off at any moment. That's giving the offensive line a better chance to do their job, because the guys they're defending or, trying to keep out of that pocket are, going through their brains while they're sitting there being blocked. So, one hand has to wash the other in that situation, and it seems to be doing that. And then again, like you said, with Dart being the kind of player he is, it just gives that offensive line that extra second or two to give him his space or to give him a chance to throw the ball.
That's a good point. Byron?
Yeah, well, but you saw when Andrew Thomas came back, that's when the offensive line seemed like it took off. They were, for some reason, when he's in there, they're a middle of the league, kind of offensive line, even with the guy that they plugged in, because he for some reason, he's a left tackle. He just makes that big a difference. And then JMS got hurt, the center, and then they put Stenny? I think his name.
I forget his name.
Yeah, they replaced the center, and it's like they didn't miss a beat. They were still able to do some of the things, that they were able to do. But it's just that I don't want him to start doing too much where he gets hurt. He has to learn how to get down on the ground, slide, or run out of bounds or something.
Throw the ball away.
And stop running down the field and running to these big old linebackers or linemen, because something bad could happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the other thing is, having Andrew Thomas back is big, but also I think that, my experience is when you have a mobile quarterback, it gives a break to the offensive line, right? Because now, they're not just sitting and, trying to just keep that pocket there for a while. It's got to be hard with big guys like you rushing, swim technique, Under Armour, bull rushing them. They got to get tired. You know what I mean? So the fact that now the quarterback is moving left and right, those guys are following. It's not like the linemen are chasing them to it. They're chasing them to some extent, but they're not extending as much energy. You know what I mean? As opposed to if they're just sitting there. I don't think we have that kind. We don't have the line for a pocket quarterback, right?
Yeah.
He does pretty well when he's in the pocket. I want him to stay in the pocket, but I like that if he can get out of stuff when he needs to get out of. Right.
Yeah, one thing
that help, like to your point, Big Blue, that kind of helps the offensive line.
Yeah, one thing I like about Jackson Dart does, and I think it's more of a veteran move, is when he is scrambling, it's almost like he's timing his scramble. Okay, I got to get out of here. I have nobody to throw to. That's when he takes off. That also helps the offensive line in the fact that it's not giving those guys time to go, okay, the play's got to be up in the air. So now I can get downfield, because I've been seeing a lot of illegal man downfield calls this year. Not necessarily on the Giants, but a lot all over the league. And that's another thing that helps out with your offensive line and not being able to do that is he makes quick decisions. He can sit back in the pocket for a couple seconds and go, okay, nobody's available. I got to get out of here before something bad happens.
But remember, once he breaks the tackle, correct me if I'm wrong, Byron, now the lineman can go downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. He just can't be in the pocket and they're downfield. So
right.
He breaks the pocket. He's way past the tackles.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are taking some rest too. They're not looking to go downfield and block on it.
Yeah.
But all right. Let's go.
Wait.
Go ahead, Byron.
One more thing. You have Theo Johnson is supposed to be a quarterback's best friend. He should be Jackson Dart's best friend, but for some reason, Mr. Butterfingers, he's just like everything. At least when he tips the ball up, he's not tipping to somebody else. Over here, interception, whatever. But he should be his best friend. That tight end. I don't care if Bellinger was out last week, but Theo Johnson didn't do him any justice. Some of the things that he does. I don't know why. They didn't put like the other guy, because when they had Scatterballs in it, they were two tight ends. They had Bellinger and they had Theo Johnson. And now this week, the past game, they just had Theo Johnson and, man hurts, he's a blocking tight end. And the other kid was activated for Doan, the one from Nebraska. And, throw the ball, see what he can do. But Theo Johnson does him no justice, some of the things that he does. No,
even the touchdown pass, the ball bobbled. It's bobbling the ball. You got to pull that in. I mean, and this is horrible, but Darius Slayton, it's time to go, man. You're looked at as one of the Giants' main guys, and you can't hold on to that pass. It's ridiculous. I mean, I know he got robbed the week before. We all saw that. But the fact of the matter that he just the ball was in his hands. He was cradling that ball, and it's you can't be doing that.
It's just and every time you mention Scatteraboo, man, it breaks my heart. That was, no matter what the record was, those two were so enjoyable to watch. At least we're playing competitive football. We have some bad holes. I think we got our quarterback.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Let's keep him healthy. We got our quarterback. With those two guys and, Tracy, develop. Tracy's trying to run like Scatteraboo to some degree, right? It's just, our offensive line's doing pretty good from the passing. But our rushing isn't so bad. We had over 100 yards rushing. But all right, but let's go into your point a little bit before about coaching. Daboll starts through 9 games as Giants head coach since 2002. He was 7-2. Woo! I think we played the playoff. 2-7, 2-7, 2-7. Big Blue, I don't care what you got to say, brother. That's coaching. Okay?
Oh, no, absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4 years, and he doesn't even have game management under his belt right now.
No.
In losing that one game there's 2 games we should have won, but the one game we definitely should have won was the game we were up by 19 points. If you're a head coach and you're 4 years in the league and you're still having trouble with game management, clock management as well, you're not fit for a head coach right now. Byron?
I guess you didn't get what I sent you about him, did you? Because basically, after the Denver Bronco game, they had to talk John Mara out of firing him. He was going to fire him. They were talking about on the fan that he was done. And for some reason, cooler heads prevailed, and he didn't fire him after the Denver Broncos game. But maybe that has something to do with the reason that they didn't make any trades, and they didn't because maybe both of them are done. But Daboll, he got to go. That's the only way you can put it. He got to go.
Both of them got to go. Remember, Daboll got to go bull.
Yeah.
Daboll got to go bull. Hey, go be a quarterback whisperer somewhere else. Okay? Yeah. I would listen to me. Like the gentleman, the author, the mayor, right? Carl May, I believe his name, right? He said it, right? He's not going to take a demotion on the same team, but he'll be a good offensive coordinator somewhere. right? But and now maybe I wouldn't mind him being an offensive coordinator. He's just not a good head coach.
No, it's another Pat Shermer situation where Pat Shermer, had 2 chances at being a head coach and it just didn't work out for him. But the minute he goes back to being an offensive coordinator, the teams are doing great.
A lot of coaches like that. A lot of defensive coaches. Wade Phillips, right? What's his name? Buddy Ryan. Buddy Ryan, Rex Ryan, Spags, right?
Yep.
Spags. You got, so at the end of the day,
I think I said that on the show a few weeks ago that, one thing that the Giants are missing that they haven't had in all these years that we've been so bad, with the exception of 23, is we don't have that defensive-minded coach, and that's what the Giants' foundation has always been built on, defense.
Yep.
And it's great that we have all these names on defense, but everybody has to work together and produce, and it's just not happening on either side of the ball, with the exception of Jackson Dart.
Every time I see Xavier McKinney doing a big play, it kills me. It just kills me. I mean,
it's a bunch of them. You got Xavier McKinney,
Leonard Williams,
Leonard Williams. Well, of course, Saquon. Look, 4 of them right there.
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. About that one too.
Yeah, I mean, he lost. He finally lost, but he should only have 1 loss, right? I'm just so back, but Daboll, he's got to go. I'm sorry, man. Look, he's gonna get it. The one thing about football, like, I never want someone to be fired in business, right? But in football, if he gets fired, 1, he made a lot of money, and 2, he's gonna be a coach somewhere else. Look at who was our coach before that? Josh McDaniels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's got a job.
Whole bunch of jobs.
He had a whole bunch of jobs, and he's doing pretty well. Isn't he the offensive coordinator for
and back in New England? Yeah,
back in New England. But he was a special team coach when he came to us.
Right.
So he went from special team coach that we decided to get to head coach to now offensive coordinator. And he's actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But Vrabel's a defensive coach.
Right.
Right. Belichick was a defensive coach. Right. You run my office, I'll stop him. But you better put up points, right? I can't win 3-0. I can't win 10-0. You got to put up points. Put up over 20 points. I'll hold that's my defense's fault if you score more than 20 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So Daboll's got to go. I'm sorry. It's just, and look,
I agree.
I didn't know that about the Broncos, but he should have been fired after that. So should have. Remember, we had the gentleman on the other day that was just pretty awesome, the Dallas guy, right? He agreed. It was like McCarthy. Like McCarthy was, bad. What's wrong with you? You won that Super Bowl. You won. You got lucky because his time at clock management was terrible, and I was associating him with Daboll.
Yeah.
Right. So we can keep going off of that. Now here's something interesting. Can potential. Yeah. Go ahead, Byron. Go ahead, man.
But the question is, are they going to fire both? Are they going to fire both of them or just one of them?
I'd fire both. Okay, so look, here's the deal. If it was me, you know me, I fire both of them. I want him out. Gone. Bye. The way he's gone. Why? You got 2 players that are rocking somewhere else. Let's forget about McKinney. Let's forget about all the other guys. But 2 marquee position players, a quarterback and a running back. Do you agree that those are the 2 vital positions on a football team?
Yep.
Okay. And we got nothing for them. Barkley asked for a trade. The guy asked for a trade. You give him the trade. Correct me if I'm wrong, Byron, but if we go to trade him, the definition of trade is I'm trading something for something. I get something in return. Am I missing that?
Nope.
Right? So he's asking for a trade. Mara, I can't do that. But that dinner table around Thanksgiving, I'd be a Rooney making fun of your dumb ass, Mara. Okay? What's wrong with you? The guy asked for a trade. You don't want to pay him. You don't want to trade him, get something in return from him. He got nothing. That's shame. He bet his money on the wrong horse. He bet it on Daniel Jones, at least at that time under that offense, right? What did we get for Daniel Jones? Nothing.
Nothing.
We signed a big contract, spent all that money. It must be nice just to blow that kind of money, and we got nothing. That's my reasoning for the GM to go. The opposite side that you may argue, and then I'm going to let you guys make your arguments as well, and would like if you could do both sides. The only argument he can defend to try to save his job is that, hey, I selected Jackson Dart, I selected Abdul Carter, and I selected Cam Scadaboo, right? That's his only saving grace. I don't care. I spent millions of dollars, over $100-something million, and I got nothing in return. But his only saving grace would be able to say that. I'll be done. Go ahead, Byron.
Let's see. For him to go, and I got 3 reasons why he should go. Evan Neal.
We're talking about Shane, right?
Oh, yeah. 7-player pick in the draft. Has been a 6'7", 350-pound ornament, for the whole season. Hasn't suited up, hasn't played a snap.
Wait. Let's make sure we're clear. If he's an ornament, he's on the Rockefeller tree.
Yeah, just put him on a tree and leave him up there.
On the Rockefeller tree, because guy that big can't be on a regular tree.
He might do a better job flipping burgers.
He's been a mess. Then you got, let's see. Deonte Banks is not a number 1 corner. That's another bust. First round pick. Moved up in the draft to get this guy. And then the third one is Jalen Hyatt. Hasn't done a thing since he's been there. And then you figure you just had the
Thibodeau delivers to the height.
Thibodeau,
right.
even him, he's a 5th player pick, so you expect a little bit more.
Way more than you get from him.
Yeah, he's a good run stopper. He's pretty good at that. And every now and then he makes a splash play or whatever. But even that, the 5 and 7 were in the same draft. Thibodeau, Evan Neal,
right?
Jalen Hart. So you just had the trade, trading deadline. So you mean to tell me you couldn't get nothing for these guys? Nothing. You know how bad that looks. That you don't get like nothing for these guys. And now, at the end of the year, they're going to leave. Deontay Banks will probably get traded or waived or whatever. But they'll be free agents. They just leave. Goodbye, and you get nothing for this. So that's my reason why Shane has to go. Got to go.
Okay.
No, I'm with you, Joe Shane and Daboll, and I've defended like I did a little bit earlier. I've defended these guys enough, and if they're both going, at this point, you got to clean house. You need
hold on, Big Blue. I'm gonna correct yourself. I'm gonna correct you. Okay. I don't think you were defending them. I just think you were making a point. There's a point where the players have to do their part. Right. So I don't think you were really defending them. You were just saying, hey, at what time that you're getting paid, you got to do your job. Right. That's how I took it. I didn't take it as you were defending the coaches. You're just saying, hey, it can't be all on the coaches. That's number 1. So let's say you started that way and here's the balance, right? But now we're getting to the real coaches, which is the bigger thing. Now the balance is going here. So I'm going to let you keep going. But I'm saying I didn't take it as you defending them. I took it as like, look, do your job too. The coach could suck, but do your job.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like with all the draft, over the last 4 years, the drafts that Joe Shane has done, I think he's got like 5 players that are actually like making an impact, and all the other players have just been mediocre or busts. And we can make the big what to do about this last draft, but those the 3 prior to that, like Kayvon Thibodeau. Okay, he's solid. He's not, he's not that 5th round kind of solid guy. Micah McFadden was another good pick. Problem with him is he gets hurt a lot. You got a couple guys here and there. Tyrone Tracy was a good pickup when he got picked
I like
up.
Tracy.
Yeah, so he has had some good picks, but the problem is over the last 4 years we've had top 10 picks. And over the last 4 years, like I said, we've got maybe 5 guys out of those 4 years that are playing well. That's not what you do as a GM. You gotta play these guys, and it's funny because some of the things these guys say, Joe Shane, Brian Daboll, it's almost like they're deferring, like it's somebody else's fault. And and they've been doing it a lot. It's almost like it's repetitive to the point to where it's almost like listening to Joe Judge again with his, oh, we'll go look at the tape. Well, how much tape are you going to look at and nothing's changed? It's just, they all got to go. They got to clean out.
Yeah.
If you want to promote Mike Kafka to head coach,
no,
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
give me a name, coach. Here, let's get into that. All right,
Yeah.
10 potential candidates, and we have a couple on the bottom. That's interesting. Okay, replace Lane Kiffin, which I like. Mike Kafka, which you just brought up, which I don't want to promote him. Brian Flores.
Flores ain't coming nowhere near this team. In fact, I believe he still has that lawsuit out.
Exactly. Byron said that, so I don't know why you even put him there.
Lawsuit.
I like Brian Flores, though, so we're clear.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I think we're on the same page. He's not going because of the lawsuit, but I do like Brian Flores. I mean, he does a great job, right?
I thought he should have been our coach.
Yeah, well, they didn't make that bad phone call. And then Steve Spagnuolo, no, I love him as a defensive coordinator. He's not a good head coach. Don't do it. I think it would be dumb for him to move at this time in his career. He has a great quarterback who could put up numbers. He's got they have a great organization, and he's already cemented his name in history as one of the best defensive coordinators, at least in the top 10. Is that a fair statement, Byron? So no reason for him to leave. Cliff Kingsbury, I don't like that guy. I don't like. He starts off strong and then gets real weak fast. Jesse Minor, a DC for Michigan. As long as the defensive coordinator is fine, I'm not sure about Michigan. And these LA Chargers, Jeff Haffey and Nick Saban. I don't know who Jeff Hafley is. But Nick Saban ain't coming out of retirement. He's got his money. He's already tried the NFL, didn't like it, left during the season. Quit on him.
Yeah.
Okay, quit on him. So he ain't coming back. He's got a cushy job as a college commentator. I can't imagine him wanting to come back. And the last two, which I don't know where this came from, is John Harbaugh and Mike McCarthy. No way would I want Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna let you guys go next. John Harbaugh. Unless he's looking to get out of Baltimore, I'll take John Harbaugh all day long.
Absolutely.
All day long. So I'm going to let you guys go, and then we'll pick our top maybe 2 or 3. Byron?
I'm going to throw this one out there just because
outside
that guy out of North Carolina likes outside of that 10. I don't think that guy out of North Carolina, Bill Belichick, I can see them reaching out for him to come there to temporarily fix things. I can see them doing something crazy like that. John Mara, he's gonna
really
reminisce
want his
the days
girlfriend
of
to be in New York. You want Belichick's girlfriend to be in there? They will tear her apart.
They're not going to put up with that in New York.
He's in the South. He's in North Carolina, technically the South. They talk with an accent. I know it says North Carolina, but it's a southern state. Okay? And they're abusing her. You bring her to New York and New Jersey? Oh my God! I couldn't imagine the jokes, the stuff they're going to do on him.
He's gonna put her.
I think he's a great coach. I wouldn't take him at his age right now. I don't want to take him.
He's coming home, man. Bill.
All right. So, okay, we gave you Bill Belichick. Pick the 10. Give me your stuff around the 10. Come on, we're losing time. Let's go. I got you, Bill Belichick. You love Bill Belichick. You gave me crap about Brady. Now you love Belichick. All right, go ahead. Tell me. So he's your number one. Tell me what you think about. What do they Lane Kiffin?
Yes, for Jackson Dart. Yes, that would be a good move for him.
Perfect. That was his coach.
He was a head coach at one time he was a head coach for like 20 games with the Raiders, so he does have a little experience.
Misses the championship. They're in the top 12. He's in the top 12. He's in the championship.
So yeah,
Kafka.
Bill Belichick, Lane Kiffin. No,
that's it.
Nope.
You don't like anybody else? You don't like John Harbaugh?
Nope.
John Harbaugh?
He's gonna stay where he is. He's gonna stay where he is.
That wasn't the question. If he was available, would you take it?
Well, I'm giving no, and that's my answer.
Okay, I'll take your no. I just wanted to ask you. Go ahead. All right, Big Blue.
Lane Kiffin, I like.
That's my first pick.
If if I'm John Mara, I'm calling up Brian Flores and apologizing until his butt cheeks are red. Like I'm doing whatever I can to apologize.
I
to
would
that
take
man.
Brian Flores. If there wasn't a lawsuit, I would take. I agree with you. I'll take Brian Flores.
I would take Brian Flores and absolutely would take John Harbaugh. The name that's being thrown out there a lot, it's just, to me, is a no. It's a no with my eyes closed. It's a no with my ears plugged. I do not want John Gruden. Stay away. Don't want you here.
I'm surprised he's coming back out. He's coming back to light.
I think Gruden, he's more of a pom-pom type of wind the guys up type of guy.
But he's done pretty good, man. He's taken a couple teams to championships. I mean, you know, Chucky doesn't do bad.
Yeah, but if you look at what he did in Tampa, that was
I'm against Santiago.
But go ahead, Byron.
Go ahead, Byron.
No, that was Dungy's team that John Gruden won with.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
So,
that's Dungy soon, John. Right, but then, but Dungy took over Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
And won with Indianapolis.
Right.
So you know, it is what it is. But anyhow,
won with Dungy's team.
Yeah. All right. What do you think about this? Jacoby Brissett keeps the starting job after Monday night win. So Kyler Murray is on the bench for a while. He looked pretty good, Jacoby Brissett. Let me tell you, I was surprised with the Cowboys' loss on that one. I'm telling you, the NFC East is wide open for the Giants. This was their year to make, at least to get some experience. That's it. I'm saying you win it. I'm not saying anything, but get some experience to get a little bit deeper into the game. You know what I mean? And you know, you may not have that next year.
No.
You know, but I think we'll get better, but you know, it's open. And look, the Eagles are going to probably break the record of, you know, the first team to win it twice, because Washington looks terrible.
Yeah.
And I picked them.
Jaden Daniels is done for the rest of the season, isn't he? With that elbow injury?
They're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything with that one yet.
Well, he's your favorite term, Byron. He's fragile. He's fragile. Cowboys land Quentin Williams.
He's the third time he's hurt this year.
This is the third time he's hurt. Well, yeah. Well, they were saying that rumor was that Myles Garrett was going to go there. That would be was going to go to Philadelphia. That's right.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. That would be like terrifying.
Ooh.
Oh, that boy on that team. No. That's Super Bowl.
I honestly don't think they could afford to pay him either.
I don't think they can afford to pay him, but we were just theoretical.
Yeah.
Well, remember they're trying. Antonio Brown wants a trade. Antonio Brown gets paid some good bucks.
Yeah.
Right. He's maybe $10 million short of Myles Garrett. That's not a big gap, right? But does he want to go to the Browns, right? Eagles acquired Jason Phillips from the Dolphins. Byron, good, bad? Byron, you like this trade or no? Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins to Eagles?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed an edge rusher. Yeah, they needed an edge rusher because you figure they pulled Brandon Graham, off the, out of the what do you call it, the lounge chair, 35-year-old edge rusher, and they weren't like last year scary this year. So, they had to make some moves, and for some reason, Howie Roseman, they should already give him a bust, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, because for some reason he always makes a deal and it always works out for them, so one way or another.
I mean, even bigger than that move, I think the Jair Alexander move was phenomenal.
Yep. You hear that, Byron? Jair Alexander. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. We got
the corner. Yep.
Saints trade wide receiver Rashid to Seahawks.
That was a great move. That was an outstanding move.
Sam Darnold's doing good, man.
It just gives him another weapon. So you got Jigba now, and now you got Shaheed. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough for teams defending against them.
It's hard to say that it was a fluke, right? He's
Yeah.
playing pretty well with Seahawks, right? Geno Smith ain't playing well. All right, they're playing tonight, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
The
not playing
Raiders.
Nah.
I thought the Raiders played the Broncos tonight.
Oh, the Broncos. Yeah. Raiders and the Broncos.
Raiders and Broncos tonight, Byron.
Yeah, he went to the Seahawks.
Frozen. Byron, are you frozen or no? He's got glasses. I can't tell if he's blinking. Sometimes he just sits there and he's not frozen. He just
There
looks.
you go.
All right, there we go. Colts get cornerback Gardner Sauce from the Jets. Man, that's pretty good. Their defense was
Gardner
pretty good
Sauce.
to begin with.
Really, man?
Yeah.
Gardner Sauce?
Hey, Sauce Gardner. Sorry.
What, the Colts? Nah, yeah. The Colts are all in. They had to give up 2 number 1 picks, to get this guy.
Yeah.
He has a big, giant contract, that the Jets signed him to, before the season. So the Colts have taken all their chips and they pushed it in because I guess they figured now, Daniel Jones is their guy, and last week was a fluke, whatever happened, with all the turnovers, but he wasn't playing, the way he played 2 years ago, Sauce Gardner. He's kind of, 2 years ago, he was a beast. And like the last 2 years, he's been like, he's like a middle of the road, he's good, but he wasn't as good, when he first came out the box.
All right. Well, let's take a hold on a second. We're going to take a quick break for one of our sponsors, Solvo. Venture Global. Thank you, Venture Global, for HR needs worldwide.
Borders? Optional. Complexity? Handled. Growth? Endless. The future of work is global. Introducing Venture Global, your all-in-one solution to find, hire, and pay talent around the world. Finding you the talent you need in the countries you're expanding into. Managing your employees across the globe, from contractors to EOR, all compliantly. And paying them on time in their currency with ease through a global HRIS platform. With Venture Global, we make international expansion feel local. Venture Global, built for borderless business.
All righty. Thank you, Venture Global, for your global payroll and staffing needs. All right. What do you think about this? Drew Brees is joining the Fox as an NFL analyst, returning to the booth for the first time since the first 1 year stint with NBC. This suggests that he'll be replacing Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez is in trouble, no?
Yeah.
What did he do?
He got into a fight. They were going to do one of the night games, and I guess after the game, he was hanging out at one of the bars and just got into a fist fight with somebody. And from what I understand, there's some kind of federal crimes that were committed during this whole altercation. So it's not looking good for him right now.
Wow, that's a shame. He's a decent guy. What happened?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. Yeah, that's usually the problem.
Yep.
Yeah, well, that, and you always getting yourself put in a position, when you're famous.
Well, he's got 2 strikes against him. He's famous and he's good looking.
Exactly. Well, I'm wondering why. I'm trying to find out to get a little bit of information here. All right. Well, Byron, but he's going to replace Mark Sanchez. So I like Drew Brees, so him being in there may not be so, so bad. But I wonder, I thought he was going to be a regular on First Take.
Who? Brees?
Yeah. Maybe
I never heard anything with him.
Yeah. I didn't
Hopefully,
hear anything
maybe he'll be as good as Tony Romo.
I like Tony Romo.
So do I.
Tony Romo's pretty good.
Yeah, Tony Romo's good. All right, so what do we got? Let's pick up some before we start wrapping this up. Predictions: Giants at Bears. I'm going Giants. I don't care. I think the Bears are fake. Byron?
The Bears. What the hell?
Yeah. Oh my God. What's that mean? What the hell? Big Blue.
What the hell, man?
I'm going with the Bears. I just think the Giants are too depleted. The defense isn't playing up to par. And again, my only hope is that during this game, somewhere along the line, Jackson Dart learns how to slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Lord.
It's gonna be a little cold there.
Yeah.
Lions at Commanders, that should be easy. Big Blue.
Lions. It's Lions. Even if they had Daniels.
I'm gonna pick the Lions. What do you think your sister would pick?
Hey, yo, man, she blew me up last week, man. She was mad as hell at me last week, man. We were killing her about man, she was so mad at me. She was texting me, and the next day she kept calling me. So, why are you yelling, about my lines, leave me alone. I was like, man, because you're a sellout. And I'm gonna say it again, you're a sellout.
Oh my God, I'm so glad we brought that up. All right, so Big Blue, this is what happened. I don't know if you're watching some of our stuff, when you're not on, right? Hopefully you are, right? Make sure you get people share and follow, right? But I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last week. We were talking about. I got asked. I wasn't even allowed into even on the outside of a bar that was an Eagles bar because I was wearing a Giants jersey. And they don't allow anyone from the opposing team to come in. So it wasn't whether it was Giants or not, it was anyone. But, me being a Giant fan, NFC East, kind of want them together. Like, I don't think that's a bad situation. No. So anyhow, long story short, the guy goes, oh, you can go to the store that's right there. And you can, if you take your shirt off, you can come on in. And I'm saying to myself, dude, I'm a Giant fan whether I'm a Giant fan right now. If they're playing right now and they're doing, I'm going to be talking smack. I don't need a Giant hat or a shirt to be a Giant fan. It's in my heart. It's in my blood, right? So I go, and then we started talking about, how there's fair feather fans that, all of a sudden the Kansas City's winning, so they become Kansas City fans. You know how kids are particularly. But there's a lot of fair feather fans. If Miami Dolphins are going good, all of a sudden all the fans are coming out, right? But before that, they're not wearing the jersey. They're not doing anything. So that came up to Byron's sister, who Byron's got family in Detroit, so he's got a family that's understandable as a Lion fan. And then we brought up her sister, and that was the whole joke. I don't want to do that again because I don't want to get Byron in trouble, but that's the point of that story. But I wanted to ask you what happened. She was already texting. That's wrong. She was commenting on us while she was here. She was on the show. She called you after the show the next day.
No, she was. I didn't have my phone with me. She was texting me while we were talking about it. She was blowing me up with texts and stuff.
On the show,
so wrong. Why you do this? Oh yeah,
she was commenting in the show last week.
That
don't do me dirty.
And she was texting me. Yeah, and she was texting me at the same time. Mad as hell. And then she turns around and my cousin sent her even more Detroit Lions stuff. She's got a ton of stuff.
So he did that on purpose. So she should thank us.
Yeah, for getting free stuff.
But you got to tell her. Look, if what we're saying is so wrong, I need you to take a picture of all your Giant stuff and all your Detroit stuff, and let's give us a comparison picture. Because I saw what she had last time when she had shown us. I think she came on one time. She has a lot of Giant stuff. So to start migrating to the Detroit stuff and your Giant stuff outweighs, I don't know what kind of fan that is. So I'm just saying, Tanya. I'm saying. All righty. That's funny, Byron. I'm glad you brought that up. I forgot about that.
I did.
That is funny. Eagles, Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers. Byron?
I'm gonna go with the Packers. So I can make Eric, my man Eric mad. Winners. I'm picking the Packers. A blowout.
Does he still believes the switch? He still believes in the switch.
The switch. Yeah, they didn't turn the switch.
Yeah, I got to turn the switch on. Big Blue.
I'm going with my mother's team, the Packers.
All right. The only thing is I don't like sometimes how Jordan Love plays. sometimes he looks like the guy I thought he was, and then sometimes, you got a good defense. You can't put up 14 points.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it, man. So he scares me where he didn't scare. The two guys that I thought would be progressively better than they are at this point right now. Byron, correct me if I'm wrong, or correct me, or tell me what you think. Is CJ Stroud and Jordan Love. Those to me were the next two young guns coming in. And it just seems like they're still good, but they haven't progressed to that next, like they haven't turned that next gear.
No.
Byron? Byron?
Yeah, both of them, in the same boat. But I said both of them are probably in the same boat, as far as, they got all the talent in the world. And for some reason, Jordan Love just makes bonehead decisions. And CJ Stroud, like a couple of his weapons have been out. Nico Collins, I think one of the receivers, has been out from the beginning of the year, and he doesn't have a full complement of what he had 2 years ago, and that's his problem. So they'll be all right, but Jordan Love, he does scare me with some of the things that he does.
Yeah, and their defense is good. I mean, Micah Parsons hasn't lost a beat. You can every time he does a play, I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy watching the Packers only to watch Micah Parsons do something.
I mean, lest we forget.
Yeah, but don't forget the other guy on the other side.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't forget Rashawn Gary. Mm-hmm. Rashawn Gary, New Jersey guy, is on the other side. I think he's got 8 sacks himself. So, they're
he's
loaded.
up there.
Let me see the
shout out my Michigan guys.
We got Mike Parsons stats. Yeah, but Byron, just because he has the other guy, it is what it is. I mean, Micah was doing it in Dallas, whether he had a guy or not, right? So he's got 10 assists and 6.5 sacks, right? That's pretty good, right? And then what's the other gentleman's name?
Rashawn Gary. I think he has 8.
Yeah, I was just looking at those stats today. He's in the top 5 for in the league.
Defensive. He's a tackle.
Yep.
He's got 7.5 and 12 assists. Yeah, but I guarantee you that the same way you said Micah the other guys on the other side, I think they're more worried about Micah, and which is giving him the edge because they're double teaming Micah a lot.
Yeah, but he was doing it before Micah got there.
I get it, but now having Micah,
doing this thing too. So,
let's see.
Oh, it helps. Helps.
Hold on. It says
big
4 verse Micah Parsons. Hold on. I'm not saying he isn't good. I'm just saying to you that I think teams are worried more about Micah, which is kind of like Micah over in 2004 had 30 solo tackles. Gary had 26. Assisted, Gary had 21. Micah only had 13. Sacks, 7.5, 6 for Micah. Forced fumbles, 6 for Rashawn Gary, 2 Pro Bowl. Wow, Rashawn Gary's actually stats are better.
Oh.
Yeah, they're better. Oh, man, the guy can play.
I told you.
No, for sure. I wanted to just see the difference. Look, Micah's still doing, Micah's still playing high level football, right? I just like seeing it because to me it's like when Saquon did well, that was a slap in our face, right? Micah does well, that's a slap in the Cowboys' face. Right? So that's how I see it. So I like seeing him do well. I like seeing him chase down the quarterback. And it's funny that one's a defensive tackle, but Micah's a linebacker, an edge rusher, no? So that as a tackle, he's he's doing pretty good. We could get Dexter Lawrence to play like that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, right? As he's a tackle, he's a tackle. All right, great. Hey, Big Blue, as always, thank you for joining the show. Please, spread the word, tell your friends, listen up. Ask them questions, make some comments. We always like to have some new fans and new guests. Don't forget to subscribe on the bottom. Big Blue, how can people get a hold of you if you don't want to get a hold of you? Ask you some
You can get me on every social media platform. It's Big Blue Ant 72 at whatever your guys are looking for me at.
Big Blue 72. Oh, Big Blue Ant 70. You should put that in your name when you're lying on.
I will.
Yeah. All right. So Big Blue Ant 72. That's how you can reach him out. I appreciate joining the show. Don't forget, every Thursday live on YouTube, on streaming your favorite channel. If you're a Facebook person watching on Facebook, it's on Facebook. We are live, Jersey Boy Sports Talk at 8 p.m. every Thursday, where we talk Giants, NFC, and then around the league, depending on the guests. We always have great guests on our show. We had a New York Times bestselling author. We have Big Blue Ant. We have Joey Bag of Donuts from the Donut Bag. We have Santiago, who does the update, who is our executive producer. And we have Papa Paul from the Dolphins. We have Pam from the Dolphins. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So please join our show, listen to what we're doing, and we're having some fun. Hey, Giant fans out there, at least we got some hope to look for. Still wondering, Giants for what? What's the F?
Fan.
Still wondering, Giants fan. Okay, great. Awesome. All righty. Well, gentlemen, you have a good night. God bless. And again, prayers to all, the loved ones that were lost over the last week, for everyone. My Uncle Pablo, I love you. And I'll miss you. Peace. Have a good night. Talk soon, guys.
See you, man.
Take care.